gasoline for the cars, the tire changes, rotations, all the things that you would call normal, reasonable business expenses, not major capital improvements. When you replace the gate, that's a big capital improvement. Any other questions for me? So, I've never really talked about this, and I wasn't going to, since I'm sitting up here and I couldn't stand. And I've been asked 10 or 12 different times in the last 2 weeks, hey Jim, what's going on? What's going on with you? Well, the reality is I have cancer, it's a particularly nasty form of cancer. It's not going to go away, I'm going to have surgery, I'm not able to get that surgery, so it's just going to play out. So, on days like today, I just don't have the stamina that I have. So, I wasn't trying to hide it, I wasn't going out in it and making announcements, but since so many people have asked me over the last 2 weeks, that's the situation. I appreciate everyone's time. Thank you.
And that's one of the things that when we find, and it just so happens that Finance Committee had been meeting, and that's why we had pushed so hard to have what we call a full-time year-round Finance Committee. We need that with the amount of money that we are dealing with. And if it wasn't for Mary and Linda, they wouldn't have found it. We wouldn't have found it. Jim, was busy doing other stuff with finances, making sure there's money for payroll, things like that, the day-to-day stuff. So if it wasn't for these two ladies finding this, and then going back and forth, yes, so thank you very much. And I know 90,000 is gonna hurt, but at least we know that we have to fix it, and that we can go ahead and move forward. But we did consult with our attorney on how to fix it and the ramifications and all of that. But these are the things that when we find, we don't wanna, we could have held off, we didn't wanna. We want to tell you all up front how that this was a very serious issue.
In the whole board and the new board, one of our big mantras of we going to be on the board is transparency, communication, letting the people know when we know something. We don't have to wait 6 months. Oh, we should have told you 6 months ago. So this is another example of that transparency.
Jim, thanks. Just to know what he does, if we sit here, we have a budget on reserve set up until 2040 plus. This money is all set up. It's not for today or tomorrow, it's for the future. If you're talking 2033, we got the budget set up for 2033. That's business. Business is not done day by day, business is done year by year. So you take care of what you do, so you set a budget up. So 2040, do we care? We're going to be here, right? Yeah, we're going to be here. So you have to understand what they're doing, what has been done in the past. You've got to research and do it every day, and then treasure and take care of business. That's what it is. It's everyday business. Thank you.
So with that said, we're gonna, we have to make up the money. That's, what we have to do. And we have to account for that in the new budget that's gonna come out. So we are looking very seriously at that. I can tell you we pay very close attention to all the pennies that we spend. So moving on to some lighter topics, we have Optima coming to discuss the new rules for insurance. Petrona is going to put that out. They are coming here to discuss the new rules for insurance. So I don't know how many people have Optima, if you're interested in Optima, but the lady's going to come here, and I had asked Petrona if people are interested in setting up appointments with her instead of having to drive and go to her office. We asked her, would she like to have a room here to set up the appointments, and then people wouldn't have to drive, or we have people that may not drive. So we have that also going on. The other thing that we have, So if you have it's just Optima. She just specializes in the Optima insurance, from what I understand. Okay, and if you're interested, it's an open meeting. She's not here to sell anything. She's just here to discuss the changes. But if you wanted to meet with her one-on-one, we had just offered her a room to come back and set up the appointments. So the other thing I want to let everybody know, and you'll probably be seeing an email come out this week. No, I think next week. We will be closing the administration office on Friday, next Friday. Also, this building will be open, but we have been going through the employee handbook. And I don't know the last time that it has been updated. Honestly, there is nothing in there that speaks to specific topics. So next Friday, we have decided to have an employee training, mandatory employee training that will cover, and I will tell you the topics. Me and Arlene have been working very hard on putting together a sexual harassment policy, a random drug testing policy, and a dress code policy. We're starting with those three things and then going down every single chapter in the handbook and updating it. There is some things in the handbook is a one line, and I am not kidding, it's just a one line. I don't know when it was done, but we need to become in compliance with the current laws that are out there. So we have that going on, and I've been working, me and Arlene's been working very hard on that. And it takes a lot of time to put a policy together. We also now have a policy because we have 4 body cameras that code wears. When they're in the trucks, when they're in other places, and they record and they save and you can download. We had to research and get a policy. You just can't issue something without a policy when you're an employer. After that, after our training, we're going to have an employee appreciation lunch. So that money is coming out of some interest that Jim was very nice enough to give me. And we're going to have an employee appreciation lunch after that. So I also want to thank the unit reps. The unit reps are going to volunteer, Trudy, Sandy Comps, and a couple other young ladies. We're going to feed them, don't worry, to keep open the clubhouse. So they're going to roam and watch the pool area and around here. But the board will be here during the training. I'll be giving a lot of the training. Arlene, Vivian, will all be taking turns. It's a lot to read. And when you have policy changes, you have to read the entire policy to staff. You just can't give it to them and let them, you have to have a training on it. So that is what we've been working on also, which has consumed an enormous amount of time. Because Florida laws are different than any other place that you might live, is different than another place. So we have that going on. As you know, we have the trees going on, we have the drainage going on, the gate. We have some updates on the gate. They have replaced the inbound part of the gate. They were working on the outbound part. And if you notice now when you go out, there is the 2 bars on the outbound that have the red lights. Now when the resident side opens, it actually, the bar lights now will turn to green. Like they were supposed to. And they're doing a lot of the other upgrades also. But it is coming along. We are finding a lot of things that they didn't know, we didn't know. So we are working through that. And we seem to have found somebody who knows what they're doing. And we appreciate that. Yes, we appreciate that. So, trees. Well, we had an interesting thing happen with the trees. Right, Mr. Rich, sitting back there? Okay. Well, we know the tree situation. We appreciate the tree situation. They are heaving the roads up. It isn't an engineer study to remove the trees. I will say it again, if you don't do what is recommended, it becomes a liability issue. And it's gonna cost all of us a lot of money. If somebody gets in an accident, something happens. Well, we have had people removing the tape on the trees. And they were observed, and we do know their information. So that means,
Why would they take it off?
they might not want the tree to come down, but they removed the caution tape. So we have to now go and do a recount of the trees. We now have to spray paint the trees. Mhm. Well, it's cost everybody time, because that's an employee time, and that's more hours that they have to spend doing that versus something else. So we do know that. We do know, and I'll just say this really quick and we'll move on. We do know about the hit and run. They had taken out some mailboxes and some other things. We do know, Rich, did you want to say anything on that? No? But we do know we do know. And we have the information. Yes, okay. So it was on the boulevard. We do know, and we have that information. It just wasn't just wasn't mailboxes. It was a couple bushes and some signs. Okay, on Country Club and the Boulevard, there's.
Keep going into Spring Ridge.
Yeah, he was gonna go right through Spring Ridge, into Spring Ridge, and if nobody knows, on the other side of that gate, so if you're coming down the end of Brookridge to make the right turn on a Country Club, there's a gate right in front of you and it has yellow caution tape. Over that gate is Spring Ridge property. They have a huge sinkhole right there. That's why we put the caution tape. It's on their property, so if he would have went right in the sinkhole. Right down. I mean, yeah, right in the sinkhole. So, luckily, traffic safety, we haven't got signs up there because that would have been a brand new sign come down. And speaking of traffic, I can tell you this. We were eating dinner last night. I live right on the boulevard, right next to the pump house. We were sitting there just eating dinner. My husband jumps up and says, "Oh my God, they're going the wrong way." It was a car going up the down part of Brookridge Boulevard. So they were going up, starting that hill. And I am going to tell you, if somebody had been coming down, such as an Amazon or a UPS, it would have been a head-on collision. We could not believe what we saw. Yeah, and there's a little cut-in on Brookridge, on the boulevard, and they actually realized right there and went, because we were starting to run outside. Of course, it was too late, they were already up, but that top of that hill was right there, and I can only imagine. Thank God nobody was in a golf cart or anything like that. It would have been a catastrophe, and we just could not believe what we saw. So it was a mess. It never ceases to amaze us. Yeah. So we've been thinking about some things to do community-wise. We had the 4th of July. That, everybody really enjoyed that, and that was very good. We were thinking about, and I am not stealing this idea. I thought about it, and then I saw one of the ladies group post it, and we thought about, because the weather's been so hot, about doing like an ice cream social. And then maybe once September, October hits, and the cooler weather sets in, maybe about doing a chili cook-off or a soup cook-off with some grand prizes and prizes. So we've been thinking about that. So if people are interested in that, we're more than willing to put it on, and as the board, we're more than willing to work it and provide the ice cream. And you're willing to eat it, Robin, okay. mentioned, an international night, things like that, where people from different, nationalities make something and bring it, and things like that, Italian, yeah. So we've been thinking about ideas like that to do community-wise, because we haven't seen any of that. And we tried the 4th of July, and we really enjoyed it. We enjoyed it as a board serving, and, doing all of that in the men's club and all the other clubs that help out. And speaking of clubs, I wanna, put a plug into all the clubs that help us, money-wise, if we need something. Entertainment, the men's club, the ladies' club, all the clubs. And because that actually helps with the budget. And just like we needed the washing machine, Mike needed a new washing machine. The ladies' club helped with that. We needed some other stuff, even just to provide the hot dogs and things like that. And then we do so much, they do so much, and it helps with the budget. So that is very, very important. And if you want to join, please. Trudy's right here from the unit reps. I call them the 411 of the neighborhood. Trudy, you want to just raise your hand so they know where you are? If you are interested, you can see Trudy. She'll welcome you to one of her meetings. If you're interested in any of the clubs, they're listed in the news and views, and you can go ahead and contact any of them and just go to one of their meetings and see if you like it, and you might as well like it. So. And Millie's gonna let you know about some Crime Watch information, and then we're gonna open it up to all of you.
Okay, we just had our Crime Watch meeting yesterday morning at 9 o'clock. We had about 10 members, and we're looking for more. It only takes 1 hour a month. And we have Sheriff Mojito, he gives his report. We had a very, very, very good report in here for Brookridge. The only thing, he says, you know, they had a few domestics he says, you know, when people start to have their little cocktails at night, you know, and if something doesn't go right, you know, but outside of that, somebody doesn't have the right TV channel on, you're right. He did talk about the golf court, he did talk about the fence in the back where, there was a lock on there, but apparently somebody broke the lock and threw the lock away, because had they known about it, they could try to get fingerprints or something, but outside of that, we do consider we have, because of the size of our community, we have a very good community. And with Crime Watch, I mean, it's just like a lot of our, you know, our people here, they have their golf carts. Just go around. If it doesn't look right, don't call the guardhouse. If you don't think something is right, call 911. And they also gave us a number for non-emergencies. But, you know, like I say, Crime Watch, I'm on Crime Watch. You guys can call anytime, but God forbid, if you see something that's not right, you see somebody maybe moving something that don't live there or move it, just let them know. Just let them know. Thanks.
And one last thing, the Traffic Safety Committee, Tracy and her committee has been working very hard. We have ordered all brand new evacuation route signs, some new stop signs. So we have them, they're on their way here. As soon as they come in, they'll be put up, and hopefully not. They're here. Okay, with the post too?
Well, Arlene texted me and let me know that they were here the day before yesterday, so she said they were, so I assume.
The post. Okay. Well, hopefully they'll stay up and not get run over. Right. They were very expensive to order, brand new signs, so that they look nice and they're brand new and they are taking people the right way out of the neighborhood instead of sending people in a circle. So that's very important. Tracy, not to put you on the spot, did you have anything you wanted to say?
I do, if I could real quick.
Okay.
I've got a couple things, not just traffic, but, is that okay?
Yeah.
Tracy McCumber, Unit 2. Thank you. I just have a couple things. I'm going to do it quick because I'll probably talk at the meeting, but yeah, the traffic safety, and I want to thank everyone on the committee. They've been great. Jim is our liaison. He's been fabulous, so thank you to all of them, because we couldn't do any of this without them, so I appreciate everyone's help. As far as the new signs, we got the new signs in, so as soon as I get with Billy, we'll have all new evacuation signs. We'll have everything posted here at the clubhouse and at the admin. So this, every unit will have a color, red, pink, blue, green, whatever. So you'll be a designated color, so you can find your color that will get you to wherever your designated exit is, okay? Also, as far as the development committee, I just want to touch base because I get a million questions, but I'm just going to read some stuff real quick to get you guys up to date. In my recent correspondence with Kevin Frazier, he is the developer of the commercial development that's going out front. I can report the following. December 2023 is the projected start date. With that said, any number of things could come up. So there could be variances, there could be anything that could hold that up. So it's December, but it could be, I don't know when. I'm just telling you that. Kevin Frazier, the developer, has absorbed the cost of the pedestrian gate, golf gate out front as well. So there'll be a lot of particulars as far as the gate goes, is, you know, with the county and getting people out and in, etc. So, which is a wonderful thing, you know. So he wants to keep everybody happy, so he did absorb that cost. We're expecting Kevin here in late September for a town hall with the community. So I'm sure everybody's going to have questions, so prepare for that. And if there's anything you are concerned with, he will address it. I've also talked with the environmentalist coordinator for Hernando County. It was important to me because when this was first started a year ago, I wanted to know where not just the turtles were going and not where the snakes were going, but the other roads. And that was very concerning for me and anybody living in that area. So I talked to Debbie about it. We're going to get out ahead of that and make sure that that is addressed. So hopefully we won't have any problems down the road. Just to let you know, the first thing that you will see is the silk fence go up. And I think you're all familiar with what those are. You'll see that. That will tell us that they are in business and they're going to go ahead and start doing their work. So that will let you know that. I also spoke with the county engineer. Her name is Candy McCorkle. She said there are many details of this project still under review. So at any time it could change, and we'll keep you updated as far as that goes. As everybody's probably noticed, all the flags out front, the little flags, they are marking the electric, telecommunications, sewer, water, etc. So that's just their surveying to let the surveyors know what's out there. So anyway, the project is underway, and as soon as I get more information, I will certainly let you know. Thank you, and have a good night. And, thank you. And we are very, very concerned. Turtles is one thing, but Tom and Jerry and Mickey and Minnie is completely different. And everyone that's going to be on that line there is very concerning to us. And that is one thing that we, Tracy couldn't get a clear answer. They just wouldn't really answer it. But that is something that's going to really need to be addressed. Picking up a turtle maybe and turning it the other way or something is one thing, or sending it off into the yard. But when you have Tom and Jerry and Mickey and Minnie, and that's a whole different ballgame. And they can cause damage, they bring disease, and it's very, very concerning. So we're working with that. And even I had thought about calling and speaking with the health department, seeing the types of things that we can put down ahead of time, either to deter them or to send them up there somewhere. Yes, the nice word up there, but we definitely don't want them coming through here, because we feel once they start displacing that dirt, and also there is that assisted living facility that has been closed for years down there, and we don't know what's really in it. And if you go past it, you can see mattresses and all that stuff outside. I can only imagine the stuff that's living out there. And it's very, very concerning. So, yeah. So with that, we'll open it up
Just out of curiosity, is anybody brand new? Is anybody brand new in Brookridge? Oh, welcome, thank you, welcome to your first, is this your first meeting? Oh, well, thank you very much, thank you. Where do you live? Okay, all right, well, thank you, we hope to see you. Last Tuesday, okay, so you're unpacking. Okay, well, welcome, thank you. Well, does anybody have any questions? Concerns? Ideas? Oh, thank you, Robin, thank you. And you know what, that was on my notes, which was on the other page. Yes, I know, it's ESP. The 50th birthday party, 50 plus 1. We do have people that have signed. Tracy, I see you in the back too, yes, you have a group. Robin, I know you had signed up, Debbie Burns had signed up. We really need to get together on that. We don't know what we want to do with that. So we can put out also for the agenda for the board meeting that anybody who is interested, if we can have them show up so that we could get everybody together, or maybe a separate meeting, but that would be like another kind of town hall style, 50 plus 1, I don't know. But maybe just have them come to the board meeting, we can get all their information for everybody, and then have everybody start thinking about what they want. We have to do everything from budget to what type of meal, entertainment, if we want that, and all that kind of stuff. So I'll make sure that gets on the agenda. The other thing, I saw some people post about having an ice cream truck come through. Excellent idea. Guess what? Huh? Yeah, where they ring the bells and sing the song and... Yeah. But, I did contact, just to see, that would be nice, but these food trucks, because ice cream truck is in the food truck roof now, it's not like it used to be when we were younger. They have routes, they have places that they only go, and they would consider this a function. And we would have to pay for them to come in here, and then $4 an ice cream. And they would not go through the streets. It would just be up here. And I said, well, that was kind of defeating the purpose. That's when I came up with the ice cream social here, and thought about it here. So, and then I happened to see one of the ladies group post an ice cream social, and I'm like, oh God, now they're gonna say I stole the idea. It's on.
Dr. Logan, Unit 4. I was just wondering if the board or maybe the office could acknowledge the fact that one of our employees just passed away. Ray, 13 years, he was a security guard, he worked nights.
Right, we sent out an email to everybody.
Because I didn't see the email.
Yes. Everybody, yes.
But I thought maybe it could be put in the news or something, for his passing.
Right, we had already decided to put that in, but of course the August issue had already come out. We were gonna put something in for September, but we did send out a news, email, saying that he had passed away, and, nobody knew, he had been here he only worked nights. So he was our night guy, and he passed away. Yes. He was still working, he was going on his 5 off, and he had passed away at home. So we have been in contact with his family. We did let his family know that if they wanted to have a get-together or memorial, they could have whatever they wanted at no cost or anything, and that would make it easier for everybody to be able to attend. People who knew him in the neighborhood, and people, his co-workers and things like that. So yes, we definitely did not forget about him. Mm-hmm. Anybody? Oh, there you are.
Hi.
It's on, it's on.
Beverly Epstein, Unit 6. At the last meeting, the board approved the capital contributions, which will then go to the membership for a vote. Also approved the RV compound charge, but that's not going to a vote. And I wondered why. I've never used the compound, but it seems to me that it was used as a amenity for so many years that the public should have a voice in it.
Actually, when the ballot goes out to vote on the budget, when the ballot proposal goes out for the budget, there'll be 4 additional questions. 1 about the RV compound, 2 about the capital contribution, 3 about changes in the language for the specific placement of funds, and 4 rental fee. Those will be all voted on by the members. The members say yes, it's yes. If they say no, then it's no.
Very good, thank you.
We wanted to make sure that anything that we put and asked for, such as the RV,
Yeah.
things like that, it wasn't on us. It's not right that we make that decision. It's up to all of you, because you have to pay it if you want it. And that's the right way to do business. So anything that we have proposed or come up with, we have stated, and we want to get it on the ballot for a yay or nay. And if it's a yay, then it's a yay. If it's a nay, then it's a nay, and we go a different route. And I see you in the back.
That's okay, I don't need a mic.
Oh, okay.
Thank you anyhow. Donna Smith, Unit 2. Couple questions. We're all very concerned about, it's gonna get, somebody's gonna have to get killed in here for the speeding problem, and everybody is working on it. And you know, you watch them and you can yell at these cars, but you're doing the same. My other concern is, and I brought this up at a previous meeting, the flags on the golf carts have taken over. They are not only blinding when you're driving, but as a walker, I've almost gotten whiplash from that. You can't put a sign on your lawn for your house to be for sale, so there's got to be something written that they're out of control. And I find it very hard to believe that I'm the only one that is seeing these flags going around. And I'm sorry, I just don't think that it's necessary.
Rich, would you like to,
All I can do is, Rich West, Lieutenant Garchak, on the speeding, we have our own crew.
Oh, I know you guys
In
are
the
working
process
hard.
of training several individuals.
Yeah.
We actually have 2 radar guns, and one that's being, it's not broken, it just needs to be refreshed.
Oh, no, you guys are
We're
working
gonna have
hard.
that, and I've got some areas, I talk to Tracy all the time. I had 2 incidents yesterday, I was staging out in the driveway, but I had some stuff going on, guys, down mailbox and some other incidents that were going on.
There's an area I'm talking
And
about.
so, we're working on it, and I've got another gal that I'm training right now, and, we're in the process. I think it's really, really important to me. And in the near future, I'm originally from Colorado, some of the stuff's out there. I'm gonna make a trip out there and I'm gonna get some more education. So, it's been important to me ever since I've been working down there. I've been there for 10 years now. And I promise you guys, we're gonna make it work. We're gonna make it work.
And my next question is, on the social things that are they going to be, like fundraisers? Is that, oh, it's not?
no, the ice cream social that we were thinking about having is that we would help as the board, as the community, of course, we would pay for some things, and then, right, right, exactly, and the more hands, the less that we have to take out of Brookridge. And I don't know if that Rumblin was, Mickey and Minnie was really upset that I mentioned their name. Who knows? But things like that, it comes, and we also, that's when the clubs come into play, because they actually help with a lot of the stuff. Like, the men's club helped with the hot dogs and the buns, and we did the drinks and the chips. So when you have that type of camaraderie, it makes things a whole lot easier. Mhm. Yep. Okay. Oh, there's a new one.
Considered speed. If it's 30 miles an hour, what's considered speed?
31. Yes. Well, right. Uh-huh.
They have little ladies with little walkers, so that's the church.
Okay, this is Patty Cummings, I'm in Unit 4. I'm on the Brookridge Social Dance Committee, and a member of our committee had submitted a letter to the board at the last meeting concerning the signs up front because they were in really bad disrepair. Is anything planned to increase the size of those signs so we can put, right now, I put a sign out for our dance, and then I went by 2 days later, it was in the street because somebody had moved it over, and it fell out, Because, so, yes, we really need that.
No. Can I speak on that? Oh, I'm sorry. Oh, thank you, Mark.
Tracy McCumber, Unit 2. The traffic safety has actually discussed those signs. We are actually thinking about removing all of them. I'm just saying, we want to redo something. We can do something else, you guys, because number one, you come in, they're very much a distraction. I'm just saying, it's a traffic issue. And now we have the news and views, they were probably put in 50 years ago.
Yeah.
We didn't have news and views, we didn't have internet, we didn't have we didn't want it all, we want it now. So we have other forms of communication, and we really think it would be better served if we did something different in that whole area. Like you said, half the time they're flipped off and they're not on, and if the pool's closed, I'm telling you, they're not running out there and saying, oh, we're gonna change the sign. I don't think that's gonna, exactly. So I really think, and if anybody has ideas, and maybe at the next, board meeting, we would like to just do something else with those signs, because they're just an eyesore. And I really think they make our community look better. Yeah, that whatever your word you just chose. And, so at any rate, we just might go down that road, so that may, and if somebody wants to come up with an idea, I always think having a great idea is a great idea, but we need a solution, so I'm up for whatever. Thank you. Sorry, I kind of babbled.
Beverly, I signed Unit 6. I met with a new resident yesterday, and they have a problem with gopher turtles in their yard. And it's on this part of Brookridge Boulevard. I've had a card at home for a company, but they were from Bushnell. Is there anyone closer? The turtles are digging holes in their yard.
You can't touch the turtles. You can't move them. There is a company, well, there is a rescue, but you have to pay for each turtle. And they can be in excess of, I believe, $1,000 because or more, because they have to be tagged, measured, they get a code on them, and they bring them up to Ocala and let them out in the forest up there. But they keep track of them. No, it's against the law to touch them. Mm-hmm. Oh.
Hi, I'm Bob Crowell. I've lived here for 27 years, 28 years.
Turn the mic towards you.
Oh, you can hear me now? Yeah. Okay, I'm sorry. I've lived here for 28 years. I live in Unit 3 on Rialto Avenue. In my 28 years here, I have never observed anybody speeding. And it was brought up at the first meeting I attended, I think in 1997 or 98. A woman told me about the speeding. And I've been driving back and forth, and I've worked for a number of years. I never observed anybody doing the speeds that people seem to observe. So I was just going to go on record as saying I'm opposed to any kind of traffic control that we've been discussing. I thought these fines are ridiculous, but that's only my opinion.
as far as the gopher tortoises, it's a federally protected animal species. You can't move them around or anything else. If they're on your property, they're gonna stay. You can't get them off. The federal government protects them. The guy behind me had to dig a hole right in the side of his yard. Couldn't do a thing, and you really shouldn't. They're not that big a problem. They're not disease carriers. They eat rats. They eat mice. You know, they're really something you should be wary of. You can touch them. If they're on the road, you may want to get them off the road, pick them up and take them off the road. That's really your responsibility. That's really all I gotta say. Thank you.
And you cannot take them off your income tax as a deduction. So don't even try. I'll turn you in.
Okay, Lucille DeGuire from Unit 4. As the gentleman's walking away, I just want to let you know, we have speeders. I walk early in the morning, and my God, I can see this car or this truck coming, and I even go like that, and they slow down a little bit, then they pass me, and they zoom right back up. I mean, there are speeders in here. And also Tracy has made it very clear that we have many more cars, many more people, and the roads are narrow. I would just say what people have told me, and I guess they've told other people, they should be looking out for those speeders early in the morning when they gotta get over to that front gate, go to work. I'm not downing people at work. I'm just saying that's usually the time that you have more speeders, or they're coming back from work. But it's not that simple to say, I've never experienced seeing anybody speed, because personally I have. And I know it's a problem, and I hate to have somebody get killed or mangled because people don't want to take it seriously. Thank you.
I have two questions.
And
How many accidents do we have a year in here?
yeah, we just had one today.
I
Right.
don't see it. I mean, when I drive around, I don't see people speed. I see the golf cart going too slow. That's true, but I'm just saying, to me, it just sounds like it's a racetrack. I don't see it.
I do see it. We went around that first curve on Brookridge, went through their yard, knocked all their trash cans down, and went through the same house twice. Cars drove through the house. Luckily, the lady was in bed, otherwise it would have killed her.
And this was
The
just
car
last
drove
week.
through their house, down the boulevard coming the other way, around these curves. The guy hit the tree, leaving right there, he hit head on into the tree because he's going too fast for that curve.
And also,
I see it all the time.
on that other place that went through the house and everything else, they actually knocked off the water thing for the county. So that was a big mess. And today, we just had another accident, taking out 2 mailboxes, a sign, and a shrub.
It's been a 45-year problem.
Oh, and we have a gentleman that works there, he was walking his dog and he was hit, and they left him.
See, if I
Debbie.
didn't have this meeting thing, we can have a problem.
Can I just reiterate something real quick? 3 years ago, they did a traffic study here, and we paid to have a traffic study done, and they said our roads are too narrow, our streets are, every street, our speed limits are too high for the narrowness of the streets. On every single road, not just the boulevard nor country club, they witness speeding on every single street. So we're just trying to reach out and be precautionary. I mean, we're not trying to make anybody mad. We just want to make our community safer for everyone.
I was just wondering, I don't see it. I mean, I'm gonna be here for.
Yeah, I live on Country Club. You're welcome to, I'm at 8080 Country Club. You're welcome to come and sit in my driveway anytime and take a peek. Amen.
Jerry Johnson, Unit 1. About the swimming pool, could we leave that gate open instead of closing it all the time? Could it not be open and leave? When you're carrying your noodles and your bag and everything through there and change. Yeah, sometimes it happens.
Terry, what's in your bag? Terry, what's in your bag?
That's a noodle.
Is it the noodle?
Yes,
That's a big noodle.
it is tasting a lot for this. And the other thing is, the lady about the flags on the golf cart is way wrong. I've never heard anybody get hit, lost, floundered, anything by a flag. It's right behind the golf cart, so how is it gonna hit you in the front or the side? Because it's going behind you.
Because of the wind.
Mike, did you want to just address the pool gate?
The pool gate,
Yeah.
that issue is not a Brookridge, that is a county regulation. So those gates have to be closed, or they have to have an automatic closer.
Right. It is so the little chitlins can't get in and go in the water without anybody there. Well, we never know, it's a law. Yeah, it's a state law, it's not us.
Terry, same as having to take a shower before you go in the pool. That is a state law. So these are all posted.
I just want to thank everybody for being here. I have to go make some rounds. I appreciate each and every one of you guys. It's a team effort around here, you know, with everybody together. You guys, if you didn't care, you wouldn't be here. And I want to thank you all very much for taking the time out to come up here, you know, and be with us and express your thoughts and opinions. And I appreciate each and every one of you guys. Thank you.
Rich is going back to patrolling, so he was saying good night.
Speaking of the pool, and the signs, I don't understand why we have pool open posted 24/7. So you had mentioned something about that. Wait, I'm sticking it down. We could give it to Mike and he could use it up here instead of that nasty looking one they use. Right. And I want to do anything. Video recording. We video record our meetings usually all the time. And yes, we have a rule that addresses video recording, and then somehow it got snuck in there about tape recording. But I believe the idea of the rule of regulation is so that people don't set up their own tripods. It's not for little old ladies that have a recorder in their purse. So if you have the rules and regulations, look at that. Is there anybody else?
I got one more review.
Oh, Rich, please, we'll be here all night.
Very simple. You talk about speeders, I don't really care about speeders. I care about the 8-year-old kids driving golf carts.
Yeah.
And they do.
Yeah.
If I address the gentleman driving it, he gets back at me with the famous words.
Yeah.
You know what they are? They start with an F.
Yeah.
Okay? So they don't care. They do not care because they have their own rules. Okay? I'll give you an example. How many people drive with 2 feet? Yes, pedal brake. Lead paper clutch. You drive with 2 feet, right? People have different rules for different cars. Same principle. They have their own rules, their own house.
I'm Dan Linares, I've been there about 3 years now. I have a house directly behind me. I have a house directly behind me that is a complete eyesore. All right? It's been going on 3 years now. The house still looks like that. Nobody cuts the lawn. Evidently the person living there is feeding the animals or something outside in the back with raw food or whatever, throwing it out on the lawn. And it's not only affecting me, I mean, there's a neighbor beside me, the neighbor next to me, the neighbor beside her, across the way, and people across the front. I don't know how that's been allowed here for so long.
Is it occupied?
Oh, yeah, it's occupied. I don't think there's any power or anything to that house, but it's occupied with the windows blown out, and it looks like it's been in the water. So, yes, it is.
Okay, I can actually address that.
Okay.
Okay, I will say this, another thing we had found when we came on the board was that there was an enormous amount of delinquent accounts. Meaning people haven't paid fines, people haven't paid mainly HOA dues, almost to the tune of 6 figures. Some places in here in excess of 10 years. It takes a while. We have authorized 12 liens. So before a lien can be put on, we have to then send it off to the real estate attorney. They have to do the research to make sure if there's other liens. Now, this is the problem. I put a lien, we find out that you have a mortgage on your house, but you owe us $10,000. You haven't paid your mortgage in 8 months, 9 months, a year. You're in foreclosure. It's not worth it for us to go and spend thousands of dollars in court to put a lien on when we're not even the first lien holder. And when we go by and look at your house and we're like, that's not worth $170,000 because there hasn't been electricity, there hasn't been water, etc. And you haven't paid your taxes. So the county's coming in second, mortgage is coming in first, and anybody else who's lucky might get a bite of the pie. So now, on this particular house, and I will tell you this, it has been left that way. No action was taken. It is now, it's now going for a lien. Okay? I had a problem with that, and I will be honest and tell each and every single one of you why. Robin here owes $100 for not cutting her grass. She didn't pay. Shame on you, Robin. I put a lien on Robin's house, but Mr. Fleetway over here has been left to have a house that looks like that, and we all know how it looks. That, in the law, is called selective enforcement, and it is against the law. And I have made very clear that when we had been elected to the board, it was going to be, everybody was treated the same, fairly, and evenly. We do know that there's people with extenuating circumstances, and those are the people that come in and talk to you. We do understand that this particular person may have some deficiencies, but that does not allow her to impact other neighbors and their property values. And I am sorry for that person, very much so. But I cannot allow one person to dictate the entire neighborhood on how rules and regulations are set and enforced. So we do have a lien-in process on any house that does not have a mortgage on it. Well, that's when we go to the foreclosure part. And that doesn't happen overnight. It takes a minute to go through all that, okay? So in the meantime, it keeps racking up. That's the only thing we can do. We can't go in and we can cut, but that's more to the rack up bill. Right, but we do know, right. Okay. Thank you for that question. I will tell you why. I called Hernando County Building. Now, when you move a house in here, you better have your water and electricity on, and you better have those numbers in the right direction. Okay? There is, after you get your CO and your sticker, you can have your water and electricity shut off. There is no county standards. Okay? See, I can tell you in different states, in different counties, where I came from, if your water or your electric was shut off, it would be only allowed for 30 days, and they would come and red take the house. And once they red take it, you're trespassed, you can't go on. Then every time you call the police come and they arrest you. But this county does not have a minimum standard of occupancy. So you could, well, that's why I tell people, if you see something, and Millie definitely spoke to that with Crime Watch, please call 911, okay? Unfortunately, we do know, of the situation, but we have put a lien on the house. A lien had never been put on the house before, right? Well, put an ACC in and go. Right, put an ACC in, and it will go in front of the ACC board, and you can go and tell your situation to them, and they can see. Right, right. Right, but right. I just wanted to let you know that we have addressed that particular problem. And we do feel sorry for that situation, but I cannot have it impact everybody else in the neighborhood. So, yeah.
Okay, I know the resident that lives in that house, and I don't know her personally, but I do know that for years she used to come up here on Friday nights and play bingo with her husband. Nicest couple you could ever want to meet. She had ran the kitchen over at one of the bowling alleys for like 20 years. And when the husband passed away, it seems things had gone downhill. I do know, according to a couple of the reports from our sheriff, that they have been called to the house. Matter of fact, not too long ago, they did remove her and put her into some kind of rehab because she does have, whatever the problem is, God forbid, okay? She doesn't have, and I'm not making an excuse for her because I'm sure there are other instances in here too that we probably don't know about, but she does have some issues. She's there all by herself, and I see her, myself, and I'm sure a lot of residents who pulling her cart, whatever. There isn't really anything anybody could do, not even the Hernando County Sheriff's Office, unless, God forbid, she attempts to do something bodily to you. Then they can take her away. But right now, for her living in the circumstances she is, I'm sorry that you have to see it in a lot of other people. And as far as putting up a fence, if you have the footage, on the side of your yard or in the backyard, because you have to meet dimensions and stuff, you can go to the ACC, put an application if you want to put up a privacy fence, as long as you have the property to do it. You know, to do that because you don't want to see it, I understand what you're saying, and I probably wouldn't want to either, but she doesn't have all her faculties, and she just doesn't. Can we do anything about it? I wish we could. I really wish we could. Because at one time, they were paying their HOA fees, and they were paying their monthly dues and everything. And these are, and I'm sure we have other families in here that are hitting it pretty bad too. And you know what? Us as a community, we try and help people if we can. I don't know what we can do to help her, but as long as she, as long as she just stays, she doesn't do anything, there's nothing we can do. And I'm sorry for it. Okay, that's another thing too. This is her property.
Right.
I'm just saying, Rich, if you knock on her door, and she doesn't want to be bothered, or you can't go on her property.
The other thing is too, is if I send Billy out there and cut her grass, is she gonna do something? She could put our employees in danger, and that's not right. We can't take that, that's a liability, we can't take that chance. We are going through the process though. It's not a simple process. Had it been started last year, it would be almost to the final end. Because they also have to advertise in the newspaper, all of that kind of stuff. But we do know it, and we have put the proper paperwork in with the attorneys. And of course, that costs everybody here money up front to put that in. Mhm. Does anybody else have anything else? No? Oh, okay. One more. Well, that's an idea. And when it comes time, well, that's something when it comes time to do the medians over, something to bring up. Mhm. Yeah, we have to mill it and pave it.
Oh, yeah.
Right. Right. Does anybody have anything else? Well, this was our first meeting. How did everybody like it? Okay. Oh. Yeah. So it is pouring rain out. So you are more than welcome to stay and mingle a little while. And it should be over in about 5 minutes anyway. But I appreciate every single one of you. Thanks. Have a good night, everybody.